Good morning, fourth grade. It is Thursday, April 9th, our last day of school before our Easter break. So I'm going to go over the assignments first. So for reading, you're going to read chapter 9 in The Indian in the Cupboard, and you're going to get your cupboard out again, and you're going to start working on the inside, but we're going to do that together on Zoom. So it's the one that you cut out and you started, hopefully you decorated the outside. So if you haven't finished the front cover, designing it, making it look like a cupboard, coloring the front only, make sure you do that before we meet on Zoom, but bring your cupboard with you and we're gonna go over how to do the inside together. Okay, so read chapter 9 and then bring your cupboard. And then also for reading, make sure you get all your reading signed for this week and send me a picture of your reading calendar so I can put your reading slips in and give you reading stickers. Remember, we're still going for 50 hours. All right, for spelling, finish up your spelling packet. When you're done, put it in your envelope so it's all ready to go. For math, we're going to do chapter 12, pages 793 and 794. So it's the check my progress pages, and we're going to do those together on Zoom. So just bring your measurement list and your math book. Also continue Rocket Math, Freckle Math, and Accelerated Math. For history, finish the Living Through History assignment on Google Classroom. So you go on Classroom, fill out the form. I've had some people telling me when they're trying to turn it in, it doesn't look like it's working. So later on today, I'm going to check who turned it in, and I will let you know on Zoom who I'm missing so you can see if you turned it in correctly or not. For science, we're going to do another science like we did on Tuesday. So you're going to use this one this time, Adaptations in the Environment. I will post a link to the video on GradeLink and on Google Classroom. So you watch the video and then you fill out the paper. So if there are questions online, you don't need to fill them out online. You just need to fill them out on the paper while you watch the video. So this is the paper you're going to do, and then you're going to turn it into your envelope when you're done. This is the optional activity. This one might be a little harder as far as having the supplies. But you don't have to use the exact supplies if you want to try something similar. It's up to you. If you do, take a picture of yourself doing it and send it to me. For writing, I want you to make sure your final draft for the 100 dresses is finished and put it in your envelope. When you turn it in, please keep it with the rough draft. So I want all the papers together. I'll staple them when I get them, but just turn them all back in. And then for handwriting, lesson 18, day 4, it's the verse. So rip out the page from the back, do the verse in your most beautiful handwriting. Don't forget your name, please, and then put it in your envelope so it's ready to go. A few of you are missing some of the verses from the last few weeks. So if you are, feel free to go back, do another one, turn them both in so that you can get caught up on that. All right, so being the end of the week, I'm going to go over what should be in your envelope. I kind of already said some of it. Remember, you're not turning in the envelope until the end of next week. So if there's something you just don't want to do today, you can do it tomorrow or whenever, as long as it's done by the end of next week. For the paper, please do the online stuff so that I can check it. So your reading handouts, you need to turn in the main character traits paper and the comic strip paper. Okay, those are the two papers that are due. Your spelling packet, you're going to rip out lessons in your math book, lessons 12.1 to 12.3. Rip those out and put them in your envelope. Your 2 science papers, so both of the Genius Challenge papers should go in your envelope. Your handwriting, your 100 Dresses essay, and then any assignments that you are missing from the previous weeks. If you found a Studies Weekly that you forgot to turn in, or the colorful papers for 100 Dresses, some of you are missing that, or the California Weekly Explorer with the Morse code activity. So anything you have from the previous weeks, just put it in. It's fine if it's late, as long as you get it turned in. Okay? All right, our challenge for today, for the end of the week, making cards and notes for people. You can obviously make as many as you want for whoever you want all the time. I'm just giving you a little challenge. So for our last one, I want you to make a card or write a nice note to someone at school, someone that works at school, and put it in your envelope. And I'm going to give you some ideas. So one idea is Mrs. Moore. Mrs. Moore has been working really hard helping our school to keep running online and coming up with a lot of new ideas. So you can write her a note for that. Another idea is Miss Colleen. As you know, Miss Colleen is filling in for Mrs. Ixta. And when she decided to do that, she probably didn't expect this. So it's been very different for her, but she's here every day, just like all the teachers, working really hard. And I know she really misses seeing you guys. Another idea is Mrs. Ixta. I can send her a card. She had her baby, and now she's at home, and I know she misses you as well. And then Mr. Lawrence is another idea. He's here every day, probably longer than the teachers, and he is making sure our school is super duper clean for when you're able to return. Okay, so those are just some ideas. If you do write a card just for someone at school, and for Mrs. Press from yesterday, put it in your envelope, and then I'll deliver it to them. All right, you guys found 4 Easter eggs today. So I'm going to tell you, mostly you found them in the same places. So Geronimo, Nathan, and Pacifica all found one on the whiteboard tray. There's Mr. Jane. Hi, Mr. Jane. So they all got a point for that one. And then Josh and Mackenzie, you guys, Mr. Chang's here too. Everyone wants to be in our class because we're so cool. Josh and Mackenzie found one on the responders. And then Geronimo and Mackenzie and Morgan and Pacifica and Thomas all saw the big one that was on the book display on the back table. And Morgan said there was one right by the mailbox. So I'm assuming that the homework tray, close enough. It was in the homework tray by the mailbox. So you guys found 4 more. So today's the last day to guess. And if you get it right, I'll be putting treats in your work for you to pick up next week. And you get points for your group as well. You can make 2 guesses today. If you look closely, you might be able to see a couple behind me. Just saying. All right, points. All right, so for yesterday's freckle math, Madeline, Mackenzie, Morgan, and Thomas got a point. Mackenzie got 2 bonus points for her group. Somebody try to beat Mackenzie today. You guys could do it. For rocket math, Mackenzie passed 1 level, Morgan 1, Thomas 1, Bryce 2, Midori 8, amazing, Geronimo 3, Adam 1, and Joseph 2. So you guys all got points for your group, and you're making good progress for your rocket math. So right now for the points, Chavez has taken the lead, but they're only ahead by 1. Mayer, you are right behind them. And then Steinbeck's in 3rd, pretty close behind Mayer, and then Disney, and then Wayne, and then Roosevelt. So today's your last day to get points. We'll do some points on Zoom, as well as the eggs and the math. Okay, so this is our last video until after our break. Well, that's not true. I will post a video at the end of the day to tell you who won for the week, just like normally I do on Fridays. Okay, so I will see you on Zoom at 11:30, and then I'll send you our final video for the week later on today, and I'll let you know where all those eggs were. Maybe I'll show you the ones that I hid so well that you couldn't find them. All right, have a good morning, and I'll see you later.